this game. I started it up one singular time just to make sure it would even start up. But I figured like it's best to go in organically and experience it for the first time. So I may have to play with the sound levels as we go along, I guess, to see depending on how loud the game is. Because I feel like Diablo and Elden Ring are probably much louder, so the game sound is much lower generally. Okay, let's get into it. I'm really excited for this one. I don't know if you need a controller for this or a keyboard and mouse. I have a controller, but now I'm thinking about it. Maybe we should start with keyboard and mouse. From what I saw, and I didn't see much, I was told not to really look into this. I think it's first person. I thought it was. I think it's. I don't know if it's horror or not. I thought it might have elements of horror. I'm not 100% certain. It appears like horror-ish, from what I see so far, at least. No. Like, this seems horror. Just usually horror games have this, right? The computer's barely visible. Like, yeah. The current time. Oh, 2:52. 2:53, 2:52 is fine. Oh, PM. Oh, it's I see. You have to. This is like 53 in a second, but. Interesting. Well, I guess let's see what OBS how it sounds. It seems to be okay from like me looking at the slider things, but if anybody notices it's too low or too loud or whatever, let me know. I guess settings, just the only settings I guess I would. English, yeah, shut subtitles. That would probably be it, just subtitles, I think. Controller vibration. Oh, controller. Yeah, jump. Let's try with the mouse and keyboard and see if it's better with the controller. We'll go like that. Stanley Terrible? I hope it's not Stanley Terrible.
This is the story of a man named
A
Stanley.
little bit loud. We'll turn it down a little bit.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Interesting. Okay, so it is first person. So, I mean, if there is combat, I think keyboard and mouse might be easier from this perspective. We'll see. I played Resident Evil, I guess, with a mouse, or with a keyboard or a controller rather than keyboard. I guess there's nothing to click in here, right? Okay. Huh. Just keep going, I guess.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
It tells you where to go. That's... And in a very clever way. Meeting room. What does the mug say? I like work. I just hate my boss. Eerie. It's like, what is it? Back rooms, I think they call it. Is this the meeting room? Oh, I hear something. Oh, that computer's on. Meeting room.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So I do have the autonomy to go right. Interesting. That's so interesting. Wow, that's and the way they introduce it is so organic. Seems so natural. Because you're curious to go the opposite way. Huh. Oh, this meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Room closet, papers are too synergized. Fire paper guy. That's fun. This is fun. Wow. Okay, so it is English at least, or legible. A lot of time, writing in games is not so legible. Hire someone to fire the paper guy. Poor paper guy. I feel like these are not Easter eggs, but these are like things that if you read, like you get like extra value out of it. See, that's clever. I wasn't expecting this kind of humor. It's very funny. Wow. So meta. A quarterly post review. I'm waiting for something to jump out. Get the guy in the broom closet. Can't get him out? Nope.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fancy.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, what dark secret was being held from him. What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been keeping from him. And so the boss had assigned it an extra secret PIN number.
1, 2, 3, 4.
2845. But of course, Stanley couldn't possibly have known this.
Interesting. I was just thinking this is a beautiful library. What? Imagine having that. It's so nice to have that much space for books. I have to have too many books, not enough space for books. It's awful. Some are just on the floor. It's a 2845, I think he said. This one.
Stanley just sat around twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless, since he could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Yet incredibly, by simply pushing random buttons on the keypad, Stanley happened to input the correct code by sheer luck. Amazing. He stepped into the newly opened passageway.
So, something that's interesting that I just noticed is if you take too long, the narrator gives you another hint, but not just for the sake of if you miss the hint, but it's almost like extra content, that if you want to see everything the game has to offer, it's almost like it's better to be patient and wait for the narrator to get frustrated or say it again, because you might, if you're that obsessive that you want to catch everything that you might not have heard or seen. Like I was with Elden Ring, which was silly. I just wanted to hear all the voice lines of all the different characters. Now it's getting sketchy, maybe. Do we go down? Now we get horror. We'll see. But that's interesting. I wonder what happens if you go down the right door. I feel like there's going to be a lot of options.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long.
Waiting for zombies or something.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Oh, come on. Like, really? What? Like, this is... Man, this game is crazy. I've never in my life have I ever... This is so clever. Holy, how creative is this?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out?
Do we... Oh, go here. Okay. Oh.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their
Right.
true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen.
There's a lot
And
of Easter eggs
Stanley,
here.
one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Interesting. This way.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Wow, it's deep. Very deep. I wasn't expecting that.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control? Never! It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world? But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
This? Not this? Oh, maybe facility. Can you click these? No, okay. Oh, this maybe. 5. Nope. Awaiting. Jesus Christ. So this is, in a sense, like you could say it's like it's sort of dystopian horror. In a
And when at
sense.
last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
So what we're gonna do is next time, we're gonna do the evil run. We're gonna do the opposite of what the narrator says. What now?
Blackness and a rising chill of uncertainty.
That voice sounds so familiar too.
Was it over? Yes! He had won! He had defeated the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command. Freedom was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him, for it was not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And that was all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door.
That's gotta be a wall, right? Am I crazy?
Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of
Was he, like, wake up
liberation,
or something?
the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Oh. Avoid getting any other achievements in your first playthrough. Huh. So did the time change as well? Yeah, a little bit. Or was it, wait a minute, was it like... Was the time reflecting my time originally? So interesting, so it resets, then you just go again. Fun. Interesting.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Wow, it's a Groundhog
Stanley
Day
decided
kind
to
of
go to
thing.
the meeting room.
So that
Perhaps
was
he had
eating
simply
it,
missed a
technically,
memo.
'cause he lets you follow. Oh, that's so neat. That's very creative. All right, let's do the evil run.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
I lied. Let's do everything we've already done, and then change one thing each time. Because right now we can do the whole run, but then get to that door on the left instead of going straight, and see where that takes us. And we'll see where then we'll keep, like, we'll see other choices we get to as well. So the first choice that we encounter essentially is left or right. So we go left like we did last time. We keep going.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
Can't help kind of broom closet, huh? Oh, broom closet works now.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
Interesting, because the broom closet didn't work last time. Now you can go downstairs too.
Coming
It's
to
another
a
option. It's
staircase,
another option.
Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Like, these doors do anything? Like... Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money crisp. Okay, extreme bathrooms, time. It's not the same time though. Can't see yourself. Huh. I'm just curious what's interactable. What's in here? Well, a lot more doors are can be open now, it looks like. Is that a panda? Huh. Business strategy. Kill pandas. That's sad. Alright.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
The
What could it
2845.
mean? Stanley wondered aloud to nobody. He began wildly tearing through papers on the boss's desk. Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Sorry, buddy.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy.
You're not
So he
wrong. You're not
relaxed
wrong.
for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
That's so funny. Oh my god, the self-awareness is unbelievable. That's crazy,
Feeling
man.
soothed
That's absolutely
and
brilliant.
rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Damn, I wish I would have known what happened to the second playthrough. I was too anxious, as he said. That's so funny, man. Nothing there. We checked. Okay, now we're gonna go left, because I don't think there's any more choices here. I think now you just...
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
There was no other options in there, I think, except going out. So we'll go this way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
This is where we fight something?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley was making a conscious, concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
It's a long-ass hallway, man. Just fall down the hole and die. The end is never... Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Interesting.
Stanley can't see the bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Farewell, Stanley, cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws. In a single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Huh. Huh. Then it resets?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish? When every path you can walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same. Do you see now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
I think this opening corridor was important to get the right corridor has been moved and altered to make sure the player reaches 2 doors in a good time. Huh. This blueprint shows the office from the beginning of the game. The path, Stanley's office, the 2 doors, the first part of the game that was built. Sectors have been added and altered throughout the development through the... Wow. So that's where you start. You walk through there. Interesting. You walk through there. So where's the 2 doors? Which ones? Huh. Interesting. Wow, that's really cool. Nature paintings. What a strange game. Look, door 1, 2, and 3. The office. Button sounds. You can still explore here. Maintenance room. Wow. Warzone. So these are like, I guess I shouldn't have found this yet. I shouldn't have dined yet. It's like spoiling other stuff. Maybe we'll check. We'll come back here later. Interesting, interesting, interesting. What's behind door number 3? Nope. Door number 2? Nope. Door number 1? None of them work. Gotcha. So maybe it's this way we have to go. There's a way to reset somewhere, I'm sure. Office clock.
Stanley pushed the orange lever.
Narration outtakes.
Nothing there. Shoot. Well, try the other one.
That's
Then
fun.
he pushed the number.
Lounge. How do I get back? Like to reset again. Oh, maybe here. There you go. I see. Oh no. There it is.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one
You can
another.
turn it off?
How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need
Interesting.
one another? No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save these two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you. Don't let time...
The narration is incredible. Like, this is... Do a lot of people know about this game and it just flew under the radar for me? This is like something I've never experienced before. What? It's so fascinating. Okay, so this is playthrough 3. Is the time changed again? I think it is. I can't remember though.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Yes, truly a room worth admiring. It had really been worth the detour after all, just to spend a few moments here in this immaculate, beautifully constructed room. Stanley simply stood here, drinking it all in.
What happens if you just stand here for a second, drinking it all in?
Yes, really, really worth it being here in the room. A room so utterly captivating that even though all your co-workers have mysteriously vanished, here you sit looking at these chairs and some paintings. Really worth it.
Huh.
At this point, Stanley's obsession with this room bordered on creepy. But at last, he'd had enough of the amazing room and took the first open door on his left to get back to business.
So I can take the first open door on my left, or I can go straight. I think we've been there before.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Try not to rush now. Penalty for misuse of cargo lift. Huh.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting.
What is he going on about? What does he mean? It doesn't work. It's gotta be this way. Still? No, sir. Oh,
That's her, Stanley. You need to be the one to do this.
Interesting.
To reach out to her. If you can truly place your faith in another, then pick up the phone.
Give it another second to ring. Not gonna say anything? Okay. This is a crazy game, Dennis. This is like I've never played anything like this before in my life.
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife?
Is this
They'd
the
want to
first
commit
combat?
their life to you. I'm trying to make a point here, Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here.
Is this like combat now?
This is a very sad story about the death of a man named Stanley.
Good morning, employee. Press V on your keyboard.
Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his
Press
existence.
V, nothing happens? Press G.
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do. Now he's pushing a button. Now he's eating lunch. Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life.
Please press Y. So what if we rebel? What if we don't follow the instructions? Does the narrator come back? How long do you have to wait? Let's see. Give it like a few seconds. Okay. Interesting.
But in his mind, he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful. And each day that he returned to work
pressing Y.
was a
Oh,
reminder that
no.
none of it would ever happen to him.
Oh. Okay, I won't press B. I'll go, I'll be like 30 seconds. I'm gonna grab a water really quick. Like 30 seconds, actually. Okay, we're back. No pressing B. We're resisting. We're resisting. Just be patient. Wonder what happens. I already died. I already played like the full game, which was like just following the instructions properly. This is the third time rebelling, I think. So we'll see. They make you wait like 60 seconds, 2 minutes or something? Like... I'm waiting for something to like jump out, or it seems like it's got horror elements, but... yeah, absolutely. It's a crazy game. I've never played anything like it in my life. It's unbelievable. Can I do something else besides pressing B? Can't move. Can you open the fridge? No. How long should I wait to press B for? How long does it take for something to happen? It's really making me want to press it. You can't jump either. Yeah, it doesn't seem like... What happens?
And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that
Maybe
one
nothing.
day while
Okay,
at work,
fair.
he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth.
Interesting.
The thought excited him terribly.
Press Q to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold.
Maybe everything happens. Press M to prepare dinner.
As
This
he
is so
wandered through this
strange.
fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations. Down one path lay an enormous round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable.
Press X to tell your kids a story.
It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
That's my wife. She gonna attack me?
But there is no answer. How could there possibly be? In reality,
Slowly
all
turning
he's
into the
doing is
office,
pushing the
and then
same
we just
buttons he
reset.
always has. Nothing has
That's funny.
changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested
That's
he
interesting.
gets, the more he forgets which life is the real one.
Just be to go to sleep.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
Let's wait. Let's wait. He said don't do it. Let's see what happens. I'm watching the clock. I see the clock is like ticking away, so... Let's just... I don't know if it was intentional, but when it first asked, I noticed it was just about to hit the minute mark. So... Maybe I'm being like crazy and Alex Jonesy and looking into things that aren't there, or maybe it indicates that like if you wait for it to do the full rotation, maybe something will happen if you don't press the button. It's like 30 seconds away at this point, so I'm just curious to see. Just because this game's been so far surprising like that, where it's like it seems like there's a lot to unlock, and patience and curiosity is greatly rewarded for doing so. So it's like 15 seconds left, and then we'll see. But so far, nothing's happened yet. But we'll give it a sec. Because it wouldn't surprise me if something does. So we're almost there. It's like 5 seconds away. And then we'll either press the button or won't press the button. Well, I haven't even touched the keyboard yet, so we'll see. We'll see. Okay, that should be like 1 minute mark, like now. So nothing. Okay, so we'll press it.
You see?
Sorry to waste your
Can
time.
he just not
Jesus.
hear me?
But you know,
How
it's
can I
fun.
tell him
like,
in a way
it's,
that
that's
he'll
the fun of it.
understand that every second he remains here, he's electing to kill himself? How can I get him to see what I see? How can I make him look at himself?
Press O to question nothing. There's nothing else interactable, right? I know it's slowly just turning back to the office to reset, so we can just redo the level again.
I suppose I can't. Not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried again, and Stanley pushed a button. And I tried...
That's the sound. That's so funny. It's like the game crashes. That's so funny.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What do we do different this time?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Wow. Yes, this room. What a beautiful room. What a gorgeous, gorgeous room.
Coffee.
Thank goodness Stanley had taken this detour on his way to the meeting room. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Interesting. This is new, boys. If Resident Evil has taught me anything, its elevators are not a good thing.
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he needed to go, from here, it's, left.
There's only one way to go, huh?
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
You son of a bitch. Not that way either, it's the other door.
No, not the right.
This
Why
right.
would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Oh my god, rustling
Now,
papers.
let's see, we went down right, left, down, left, right. Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
It's so
This
brilliant.
story is absolutely, definitely this way.
Is it open? No. It's interesting, a car's on. Oh.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just have to get back to, oh, who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top.
Jesus. Just resets me like that, huh? You...
All of his co-workers were
All
gone.
right.
What could it
All right.
mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I know what else we can do.
When Stanley... Wait.
Whoa, what?
Wait, what? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh.
It keeps throwing
Everything should be...
curveballs. It's,
Oh, did something
crazy.
change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story. It was right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
Oh my god, are you kidding? Can I get over this one? That's fun. It's like those games, the back rooms or whatever it's called. Am I running in circles? I can't tell.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
Crazy, man. It's absolutely crazy. Who made this game?
All of
Are
his
there more like
co-workers
it?
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
This game is completely carried by creativity. Graphics aren't like... They're fine. They're passable. But like, it's not... No one's playing this game for the graphics. No one's playing this game for... so we haven't fought anything yet. I keep waiting for something to pop out. It seems like something's going to pop out at some point. It seems so horror, but I haven't experienced anything yet. Other than that mannequin, like, maybe. But just the creativity of it. The narrator telling you where to go, and then just the way it keeps playing with you. There's a game called Eternal Darkness, I think it was, for GameCube. And I thought it was one of the most brilliant games of all time, because Eternal Darkness would play with the not just the character in the game, but also the player. What I mean by that is, as you're playing the game, your character would see ghosts and stuff that would pop up, I think, that would attack them randomly, stuff like that. They would get mad, lose madness, or lose sanity, I think. And as they would continue to lose sanity, the game itself would show the volume going down, or would say game crashed, restart GameCube. It would say stuff like that. The game would get fuzzy or blurry, or the screen, it just be wild stuff. You would see it would look like TVs all essentially had the same volume, where it was like a green blinking line, and it would like go up or down to show volume increase or decrease. So now TVs are different, so they have different volume like icons. But it would show the volume going down when no one was touching the controller. It was a really creative game, and this game is sort of the same, where like it's playing with the player at the computer, and I don't see a lot of games do that or do it well. This game is like probably the best example of that I've ever played. It's so brilliantly done. Wow, well, this is truly an experience. I'm so fortunate enough to be able to share this with you guys on stream, because this would be something that I would play by myself and be like telling everybody about, and I'd be hyping this up, and I just feel like, oh my god, now there's no doors. It's crazy. I feel like I wouldn't be able to capture the excitement, I guess, of experiencing this for the first time until you just go in. You have to go in blind. So I appreciate the advice, going in blind.
Okay, yep,
you need to.
it's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
Yeah, percentage of dev work, 1% gameplay, 4% in graphics, 95% story. Yeah, absolutely. Like, the design is brilliant. How it's like, oh, that's the ladder in here. This, because it drove me crazy in Elden Ring. There's that same cave, or we did it once or twice. It happened in Elden Ring, where it's the same. It's actually different layers. You're going down, up and down different floors, but they're all identical to each other. And the only thing that's different is maybe like the map is like swapped, like reverse or something. And that's sort of what's happening here. I feel like it's really hard to design like a labyrinth. It's sort of built like a labyrinth. And I feel like it's really hard to design. And they did it so seamlessly. And the controls feel so smooth.
I knew we'd miss something. The story. Here it comes.
Oh, boy.
No, wait. Never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
I have to know, Dennis, is there ever combat or is something going to try to kill me? Because every corner I'm like checking, like a zombie's gonna murder me.
Now this... Well,
now
I'll be
it looks
honest,
like
I don't
Resident Evil
recognize
7.
this place
Jesus,
at all.
now it looks like Resident
Is
Evil
this
7.
the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley? Well, do you know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off. So, good job. Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all. We both know you didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations. Okay, I'm getting weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
Oh, I should have explored that place more. Oh.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
Solitaire. What does this say? Accent voice? We're going a different way this time.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Whoa.
Riddler.
Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that. You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
So ridiculous, man. This guy's hilarious, man. This is crazy. this game didn't win any kind of award of some kind. That's how it's done.
Wait, cut the music. Go back and look at that fern. Stanley, this fern will be very important later in the story.
Oh, Christ.
Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
It'll say, what color is the fern? Yeah, I'm not gonna remember, like... Yeah, hopefully it's just what color is the fern, because I'm not remembering anything else. Oh my god, no, this is, I guess it's unbelievable, like it's...
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No. Line, you do know we're looking for the Stanley Parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell?
Back here.
No, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything
crazy.
we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take
Whose
this
employees
anymore. To
fired,
hell with it.
bruh?
Restart.
Another reset. Here we go again.
You know what, Stanley? I say forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people, right? Why can't we make up our own story? Something exciting, daring, mysterious. Oh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Oh, exciting. How exciting.
Now, yes, this is exciting.
See?
Just
He
me and
agrees.
Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination. Whatever it might be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms.
What's
Just
the
don't
line
acknowledge
TM?
it. We should be
TM?
fine.
What? Line TM, it TM, what does that mean?
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't squander the opportunity. In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin. So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one.
The door on the right is
Another
the right
victory
door.
for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
But now if you stand this way, that's the door on the right. If you stand this way, that's the door on the right. If you stand this way, that's the door on the right. Can I take left door? No, you liar. The confusing ending.
Oh, hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times? That's really how all this goes? It's all determined? So now, according to the
narrator's
schedule,
gone,
I
and then
restart
Stanley
again.
dies.
Then what? Am I just supposed to forget? Well, what if I don't want to forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide? Why don't I get a say in all of this? Is it really... No, it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's going on. I don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it.
Huh.
And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle? The, whatever it is that made this schedule? How would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know, I suppose in some way that this is a kind of story, wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination, so I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually. Well, in the meantime, if you...
42 endings. That's insane, dude. That's insane. Holy. So did you get all the endings?
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? How is that possible? They never stopped. Surely I was mistaken.
Wow.
No, the orders were still missing. For now. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Do we go left? Yeah, let's try it again.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Oh no, no, not again. I won't be part of this. I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all. I'm just going to be coming to a staircase. Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Creepy.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss. Admitting he had left his post during work hours, he might be fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all? None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
True.
Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life.
A little bit dystopian
Now,
in a
hearing
sense.
the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, He knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with this dream. I wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment, and my wife, and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
It's weird. It's a weird ending. If that's the ending. Or maybe not. Oh, no. Okay.
Stanley began screaming. Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Bang. I keep waiting for it. I'm waiting for
This
something.
is the story of a woman
voice actor's
named
fabulous.
Mariella. Mariella woke up on a day like any other.
Oh, now it's
She
Mariella.
rose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was to be normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Interesting. It resets again. Interesting. What does that mean?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone.
strange.
Finally. This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along.
Cat hairs.
I got what I wanted.
I'm always picking cat hairs out of my mouth, off my face. It just gets fucking everywhere. The amount of cat hairs I've eaten in my life. Yuck. New content. That's fun. Now it says it on the door too. New content.
New content? What does that mean, new content?
It feels like there's something there still. It's gross. I'm just getting paranoid now. I've had time to think I've swallowed cat hair. Probably haven't even. I'm so used to it. I'm like brushing things off my face. If there's a cat hair there, there's not. Jesus. I'm in a perpetual state of like when you have a bug crawling on you once and you feel like there's another bug or spider on you for like, I don't know, 2
Hello,
hours
and
after.
thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in
Wow,
2013
that long ago.
on
Way
home
ahead of time.
computers.
Holy.
After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers.
I didn't realize
The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step
it's so
inside and
meta.
see
I
what
love
thrilling
meta.
new
It's
adventures
so-
await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Can you go this way? You can't jump. DLC. Nice.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
Did you play all this DLC, Dennis?
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it.
Oh, you didn't play it. Oh, but you played the original one?
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if oh, okay. Let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Two things. This story reminds me a little bit of, goodness, what's his name? God, I can't believe I'm blanking on this author's name right now. He's a very famous author. He wrote Good Omens with Neil Gaiman. Terry Pratchett. This story reminds me sort of a Terry Pratchett kind of story. It's very self-aware, it's very creative, it's clever, original. It has all the marks. It's humor, it's very, it's innocent. So far, nothing's jumped out. So I'm gonna play this game. I'm playing, anxious. Something's gonna jump out at me, or I'm gonna have to fight something. Nothing's happened yet. So if I beat the whole stream today, or the whole game today on stream, and nothing jumps out, then my outlook of this game is that it's like it's like Terry Pratchett kind of humors kind of game, where it's self-aware, funny, witty, clever, British kind of lighthearted, innocent humor. I love it. But then at the same time, this is where Pratchett was brilliant as a writer. He would inject philosophy and dark ideas totalitarianism and stuff like that, as this game has with its Big Brother kind of your employee number is this, you're always being watched, all you do is work, you don't know home. There's that dystopian aspect of it, but it's very subtly in the background, where if you don't pay attention and you're just you forget about it. But the whole theme of the game is essentially a dystopian nightmare. It's so creative.
All right, let's see it.
The
The
stuff
jump
like
circle?
this, it's so silly. This is in my opinion, peak streaming game. In my opinion, this would be fun to watch every streamer play this. But it seems like you have to play it blind, at least the first time. God, I haven't played a game this fun in a long time. This silly, it's... To be fair. Oh, can't jump. It was nice, it was fun to jump. New content, jumping, I get it. Jumping is new, I get it. It's very funny. Yeah, 'cause you didn't jump the previous one. That's so creative.
Is that it? Surely
it's a good
that's
Steam
not
game.
all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Yeah, it's so funny. I'm waiting for horror though, man.
Another elevator.
Maybe I'm just
Stanley,
conditioned.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could count to 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more. Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
I don't know who the narrator is. He sort of reminds me of the guy that did the original classic WoW introductions. It's not him, but it just reminds me of him. But he also reminds me of Stephen Fry. He has the same kind of wit as he speaks, where he speaks the way he delivers his jokes is similar to Stephen Fry, who I'm a big fan of. So it really sells it. The narrator crushes it. Narrator MVP.
That's
Thanks for
it?
showing the content. There's
So
no
you've
way.
got to be
And the way they
kidding
write
me.
it
You
is
see,
so like, poorly
Stanley?
written.
This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
That rant was unbelievable. He's spot on. He's absolutely spot on. But that was unbelievable, that rant. Hey, Stand on Head. It's great to see you. Have you ever played this game, Stand on Head? It's unbelievable. Doesn't open. So this is clearly a different one now. Again.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Sketchy. Coffee nut. Sketchy, sketchy.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look. I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Wow.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013 when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The British Academy of Film and Television awarded to The Last of Us, and then you see it says The Last of Us, and then they put the Stanley Parable on top. That's so creative. Oh my god, it's so funny. 2013. Oh, okay, yeah, 'cause you're 2013. Very funny. Wow, man, the attention to detail is unbelievable. This is like, look at that. God, developers, take note. Like, this is, it's amazing because this game is probably way lower budget than a lot of like the Assassin's Creed style games that came out in recent years, and this game blows all that stuff out of the water. Like, this is just such a more fun, memorable experience. Wow. Smile because it happened. Unachievable. Go outside. Don't play for 5 years. Is that actually an achievement? Don't play the game for 5 years? So now I can't play the game again for 5 years to get that achievement? That's a real achievement? Wow. Creator surprisingly down to earth. College show. Uneven effort to enroll poor business leaders pushing election of council allies. You can't read that part. But a small creature owns the other half. 50% off designer half, but a small creature owns the other half. Fun. What does that say? Can't read that. Huh. Fun. Yeah, it's the woman. Oh, what does that say? Work in progress, beta. Interesting. Fun. I haven't played it just when you were saying Stephen Fry. It made me think of his character in Blackadder. Oh, I don't know what Blackadder is. I'm not sure I've seen that. Is that a film or a show of some sort? What is this? Little Stanley. Oh, what is it?
et je n'attends plus que toi, mon amour.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created.
good for
That's
them.
how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
Interesting. Blackadder is hands down my favorite comedy. I'll have to look into it. Oh, I like Stephen Fry, so I didn't know of him as like a narrator, poet, reads poetry, author, but not so much. I know he does like television as well. He's a comedian, but I have not seen his stuff. Comedic actor, maybe I should say. I don't know if it's stand up actually, but I know he speaks publicly. Is it this way or is it down there? Where do we go? Because I'm afraid it's going to lock me out the other way. If I go one way. Okay, this is clearly... Yeah.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
People play games because of what they can do inside them. And if your game is very good, letting them know they can't do anything. Literally anything. Alright, so this is open, but I can't go in there. The serious room, but I can't go in the serious room. It's not a serious game, so it won't let me in the serious room. Is this door open? Nope. That door's open. And the serious room is open, but I can't get in the serious room. It's hard to be serious in this room.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
Yep.
But I wouldn't give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor.
Oh
I haven't
my
looked at
God.
these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Oh my god, it's so creative. It's crazy, dude. It's insane. My top is a tie of Blackadder and Aloe Aloe. I'll check it out. Thank you.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
I'll tell you where to stick them. If you stood on this, it would lift you over. Okay. I wasn't expecting the whole outside levels and stuff. That's crazy. Steam reviews is so funny. Oh, there's more Steam reviews. What does it say? Can't read it. That's so creative, man. Oh my god. I wonder if that was a real review. That's funny. Oh, a good one. Mostly bad.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like I let these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
It's this way.
What's this one got to say?
We use this boat?
You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button we shall have.
Wow, how fun.
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this.
I'm gonna let him go.
The story, and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you
It's all
see, blah, blah, blah,
gibberish.
blah, blah,
Who cares
blah,
where it's
blah,
gonna
blah,
go?
blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions
just
left
going.
until so
You're
much
just
more
going.
than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story, and the choices, or what have you,
There, resets.
and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah, 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet.
Okay. So I was watching the
You're
clock.
back,
It jumped
you
ahead
see.
like 5
You were
minutes. I think.
only frozen in time for a few minutes, but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games.
Pontificating.
Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having...
You're just doing skip again.
Oh, well, there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But
Yeah,
that's the
if I
power
wasn't
of the
streaming,
button.
I would've let it
The
play.
minute
I
I
would've
start to
let it
go
play in
off
the
on a
background.
thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new...
You just keep
Okay,
getting-
welcome back, Stanley.
What
Now, I
is
should
going
say that
on?
the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly... Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but
the
they're
door's gone.
really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door.
Is the plant
There's
dying
just
or growing?
you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no... Oh, Stanley,
Plant's
you're
dying
back.
again.
You're back. Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks. I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we...
This is gonna be the end of time now? You transcend into like the end of time?
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time, I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days, months. I lost it all.
Can't click it. Oh.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said,
It just keeps going! Oh my god!
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
It's gonna pop up. Now it's the end of time. Pop up again. This is late. It's still nothing. It's still gotta wait. Yeah. You can go out so you can see out at least. Oh. Oh yeah, because like the world has ended. The fern. He asked me to remember the fern. Remember that? You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Oh, it's an achievement. You can't jump. No, seriously, we disabled it. Ah. I remembered! I did remember. Oh. Interesting. Holy, it looks like Desolus, or I should say the Shimmering Flats. Wow, how sick. Love it. Further and further away from it. I wonder if the light goes off, and I could have clicked it again to go further. This could have got a different ending from this. I wonder. I feel like I probably would have gone back off. But let's see what's at the end. How it just ends. Okay. Resets again. Was that an ending? What was that?
How wonderful. Stanley was alone. Finally.
different.
This is great, he thought to himself. This is what I've wanted all along. I got what I wanted. No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers. Stanley went around touching every little thing in the office, but it didn't make a single difference, nor did it advance the story in any way.
Ah. Is it an achievement, I wonder? Couldn't turn off the computers before. Waiting input. Huh. Be interesting. Well, like every time I do this, if I click add another input, it's new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh yes, write that fun thing. That's so silly. So Dennis, does the game ever actually end? Do I know like if I actually like, beat the game and the DLC, or the credits will roll at some point? Let's just keep going forever.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further. Which is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever, the Stanley Parable 2. Yes, you see, isn't this far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
That's fun. Investor showcase. Jeez. Taste the sequel.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean?
You don't remember.
But the
Fair.
Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential. Now, to be clear, I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it.
427.
I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them.
took the red
It'll
marker
all
to me?
work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
Sequels are good. Portal 2, Half-Life 2, Batman Arkham Asylum 2, City, Divinity 2, Doom 2, Dark Souls 2. It's funny, they said Dark Souls 2 was like not... A lot of people didn't really like Dark Souls 2. And Arkham City was really good. Half-Life 2 I think was popular. I don't know about Divinity. I think Portal was popular. I think all the Portals were popular. It seems like the Dark Souls 2 was the most contested of all the Souls games, to my knowledge. Seems like the order, I think, of like favorites is like 3, 1, 2, I think. of Souls games, or of all the Souls games, including like Sekiro, Elden Ring. I think 2 is generally on the bottom for most people.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
Hear your name in the game. Merch. I saw this new content. What does this say? Stanley Parable. This t-shirt is a best new feature. The end is never the end. The end again. Please, no screenshots.
Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with?
So let's take a screenshot. It says no screenshots. Take a screenshot. So Control F. So you do. Oh, you could crouch. Okay, so screenshot doesn't do anything. Get well someday. Happy 12th birthday, Stephanie's.
You know, sometimes when you solicit another person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually really wanted all along. Get well someday it is.
Alright. Fun.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
Who's the girl up there? New plus easy achievement. I can't believe it's that simple. Get it here. Free achievement. Get yours right now. Pull the lever, receive your new achievement. No more steps, just works. Get yours right now.
Now here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes, you see, you'll come to this lever, and when you pull it, the achievement will be given to you. It's as simple as that. Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
My cheek. Can't enjoy this game. Are you kidding me? It sucks. Ruined everything. I don't want to play anymore. I can't get the achievement. Jesus. And I gotta walk back. You don't even give me a shortcut. This stinks. Game ruined.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Can you find them? Collect them all. Ooh, pretty.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
1 out of 6. We did it.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
This map, free achievement, button that says the name of the player that's playing the game. Merch. Settings world champion. Reassurance bucket. Huh. That's the free achievement we saw. What else is here? Free achievement, infinite hole, collectibles. We got the collectibles. What's this? We did the jump circle. Oh, we already did the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well.
Jumping is fun.
Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle? Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
How sick would it be if I could... so next time I'll play this game, maybe I'll play another playthrough. I wonder if I save my jumps, if they'll show up here next time. I'm curious. The button says the name of the player playing the game. Let's try that. Before we go to the hole. The hole is like, I feel like the last part, because I feel like you're not coming back from the hole.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
The hole is the best?
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it.
Whoever's
Okay,
name's
here we
Jim
go. Let's take
on
a
Steam
deep
must love
breath,
this game.
clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named
One
Jim.
with Jim. We're
I
channeling
want
the
you to
inner Jim.
imagine yourself living as Jim, sleeping and waking as Jim, falling in love and being heartbroken as Jim, seizing all of the world's possibilities as Jim, and as Jim watching your dreams crumble
I'm
into
one with
dust.
the Jim.
Do you feel it deeply? Are you really, truly Jim right now? If so, then please step forward and press the button.
Speckled Jim, you got it right.
Jim. Yes! You see? What a thrill! What a rush! That was you! The button described you. Do it again. Do it again. Jim. Ooh, it hits even harder the second time.
It's so
if this
strange.
were the only new feature in the Stanley Parable 2, it would still be worth the money. Let's take a break from the Jim button. I'm too emotionally drained from all of this personal validation. Jim. Whoa there, cowboy. Sometimes a person can be too much Jim. I'm putting the Jim button away. Otherwise, soon you'll start to lose all sense of who you actually are.
You getting rid of it?
Jim.
No, you didn't get rid of it. I thought you were gonna get rid of it. Okay. Can I turn this off? I guess it's back this way. Gotta backtrack a little bit. I guess getting the hole, I think, is the last... I think it's the last thing. What's here, really
I
quick?
suppose I could allow only people named Jim to play the Stanley Parable 2. That would actually save me the work of finishing this feature. An
Epilogue.
epilogue would be fun, wouldn't it, Stanley? Yes, it will go at the end of the, well, we'll figure that out later.
I feel like I should do the hole before I do the epilogue, right? The epilogue's like the end. I feel like the hole. Jump circle, infinite hole. We'll try the infinite hole first, I think. Red is the new orange. The reassurance bucket. Oh, I missed the reassurance room. Okay, let's check out the reassurance room.
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on,
Bucket solves
give
all.
it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person. The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on, don't they? All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
All over the edge. No. Interesting. Okay. Well, I'll take the bucket with us. Let's keep the bucket. Bucket's mine now. Now we got a weapon, guys. Now we have a weapon to fight things if we fight anything. I'll throw a bucket
Does
at
anyone
them.
give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already.
I may not have gotten an achievement. We got a bucket. We can't jump, but we got a bucket. That's pretty cool. I think we've been that way. Let's try the hole. We'll try the hole now. Right? No screenshots. Here we try that. Now it's time for the hole. Oh. Falling upwards. Making that rim must have been a very difficult job. Looks very large, like it might have taken a lot of time. I imagine it takes a long time to make a hole. Alright. Infinite hole chart? That's funny. Educational use only infinity, more hole, space, science, more. Fun. Just keeps going. It's like Dante's Inferno or something that's supposed to be, or what is that supposed to be?
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond
Holy
of. It's
moly,
never
how
been done
deep can we
before in a
dig?
video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium.
Oh, I didn't mean to fall. Oh well. Oh well. GG, there we go. Alright.
You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Let's see how far it goes for a sec.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top. Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
If I hold the bucket upside down, will it sort of work as a parachute? Or is that just in cartoons?
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
Finally.
From
Here we
one
go.
perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever. Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually
can't read
wants
that.
to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem.
Meeting at 2 p.m.
Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean. Why don't we just put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly
Cigarettes.
infinite? If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can move on. I'll just be up here when you're ready. Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even more of my ideas for the sequel.
Wow. Oh, it's the same room. Never mind. I thought it was a different room. Mostly, like, it didn't say mostly infinite hole before. That's so funny. So because we tested it, now it changed it. Oh, that's so funny. We got our trusty bucket. If nothing else, at least we got a bucket, right? So. Music. Watch that thing come alive like Poppy's Playtime. Jesus Christ. That game was tough, man. Poppy's Playtime was a little bit tough. Although once I figured out the sprinting, it got a lot easier. Whoever that was, that might have been you, Stan, that helped me with that. I don't remember who that was that helped me with that, but I played the whole game without sprinting, and I'm like, I can't understand why I'm dying. So we did this. I think the epilogue? I think that's next. Where did we see it, though? It's a reassurance bucket. That's the infinity hole. Not this way. No, it's the buttons. Okay. I have to remember. Not that way. That's the screenshot way. What does this say? Mostly if there's a button that says the name of the player that's playing it. It's such a, what a strange game. Exit, I think it's exit we're going towards, maybe? Let's see. Exit. Oh, is it this way? Gotta go. Wait, use the hole again. Okay, I'll use the hole again. Let's use it again. I'll use it again. You guys have M&Ms in the States. You don't have Smarties, right? You guys, your Smarties for you are something different, I think. I think like ours is called Rockets. I think for you guys it's like Smarties. It's like a chalky candy, I think.
Oh, for heaven. You see, I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there, goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less
so
time
funny, Dennis.
in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole, but I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
Yeah, chalky candies. So our Smarties are like Canadian M&Ms, essentially. We'll try to do the hole again.
Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. I really do have so much more to show you and to talk about, and I've had enough of the hole for a lifetime.
We'll jump in the hole really quick. If anyone played Mortal Kombat, I think it was Mortal Kombat for N64. One of the fatalities is you punch someone into the pit, and they fall, and this reminds me of. I think if you also get game over. I think if you get game over, it's like 10 seconds, and it counts down where you're falling down a pit. And if it reaches 0, I think you hit the bottom and hit the spikes. And this is like fatality, or you died or whatever. That's just what this reminds me of. If anyone's played that, like it reminds me of that.
Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not
think
infinite,
what's gonna happen is I'm gonna
but that
step
it's
into like a
growing
sandbox.
steadily
It's gonna get
less
shorter
and
and
less
shorter.
infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any
keep doing
shorter.
it. Like I feel like eventually I'll be able to step into it, and I'll be able to see the
Well,
bottom.
there it is.
Yeah, like that's what I meant. Exactly.
The shame
like
of my
that.
lie has come to haunt me. Not only is the hole not infinite, but it's barely even a hole at this point. It's more of a concavity, or even a very aggressive divot.
An aggressive divot.
How is this still appealing to you?
And now we're stuck.
I
on
know
point
you're
out.
obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on. Is the, teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
May I ask anybody watching, by the way, if may I ask you to like the video? It seems to help other people find us. I appreciate that.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You
Just
get to be with the
abandoning me?
hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole... have
Why
a
can't I just
wonderful
stand
rest
on the
of
bucket to get out of the hole? This is just purgatory, man. How long will it make you wait till something happens? Oh, now it's going down. Exciting. Wow, I wasn't expecting any of this. Oh, the music reminds me of the X-Files. It's fun. I do have to pee at some point when it stops. There's like a momentary break. Gotta take a quick pee. I don't know how long this game's gonna take. I don't know what the end looks like. Change your perspective. Cool. Wow, you can see your character. Change your perception.
My head's stronger. Now you're no longer.
Weird. What in the world is going on, man? Oh my good lord. Oh, we're keeping the puppies. We're keeping the puppies. Let's see if we can find Audio Slave on this thing. Maybe we get Freebird. Does this thing have Freebird? Can this thing play Freebird? Hey, it's sick. I'm a robot. Hey, that's fun. Let's get anime. So strange, man.
Stanley! Stanley!
Good lord, what is going
Oh,
on?
good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-pip.
Doodle pip. I'm still remembering that fur he told me to remember. It's going down again, damn it, or is it raising up this time? Is it gonna raise me up like Josh Groban? Oh, reset. Dennis, by the way, I want to thank you for your help. I ended up getting all the achievements I needed. So thank you so much for that.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Mostly an infinite hole. Is there another bucket? Focusing on the hole. Go back to the hole. Which way is the hole? The button... That's new. Yeah. Fine, it ended. Mostly infinite. That's so funny. The Diablo pet. Yes, yes, yes. Talking about the Diablo pet. I finally got it thanks to your help. I was able to grind it out and... Oh, I can't do the hole anymore. It's gone. It's closed. That's funny. And yeah, it was a bit of a pain in the ass, but I'm glad I got it. So thank you for your help. The blood wave thing really helped. I kept screwing up the hell tides, but I was able to finally get it. So I'm grateful. I must say though, like, and this is just me being like bitchy and complaining, blood wave necro for me at least is not as fun as I'm not enjoying it as much as like Soul Rift. Soul Rift was a lot of fun. I really liked the way Soul Rift played. I don't love the playstyle of having to chase to reset your cooldown.
Have you seen everything you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
But it's very powerful. It clearly worked unbelievably well because it got me everything I needed. So I'm not complaining. I really appreciate your help and the patience you took to help me do that build and stuff. It really, because I really wanted that pet, and you made it happen. So thank you so much for that. No screenshots. Huh? Why do I have to remember that fern? What?
So Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul.
If you can't
it's
check
going
group
to
on
work.
Discord, give me one
There's
sec.
definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Oh my god, roadmap for new Diablo content.
Are you ready?
Holy
Here
Christ.
it is.
Okay, I'll bring it up after.
I give you
That's exciting.
the Stanley Parable 2.
Exciting. Man, I gotta pee so bad. When is there gonna be a break for a second?
Well, I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
Does the mic pick up the chewing of the M&Ms? Because I'll mute it if it does.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This isn't a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags.
The
And
whole
I do
game
very
is
much
one big
enjoy
gag.
creating
So creative.
gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2." Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Fair. Oh my god, look at that, huh? What happens if you quit to desktop? Settings. Credits. That's crazy, huh? If I hit quit to desktop, will it actually quit to desktop? Begin the game.
This is the story of a man named
There's
Stanley.
no way it's resetting. There's absolutely no way.
Stanley worked for a company in
Oh,
a big
cool.
building where he was employee number 427.
I should have peed right there, actually.
Employee
Jesus.
number
Thank you, Stan,
427's
for
job
that.
was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy.
Huh.
And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not
third-person perspective
one
now.
single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions. call a meeting,
See the
or
get well
even
balloons?
say hi.
It's a callback from earlier.
Never
It's
in
so
all
crazy.
his
Oh my
years
God.
at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Okay, we can play in a second. Really, really quick pee. Holy, so just resetting again. It's crazy, man. Jesus. Sorry about that, friends. Let's get back into it. Jesus, I don't know. So I see that
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, it's the bucket. It's the trusty bucket.
Stanley picked up the bucket.
The affirmation bucket. Oh. Balloons, yeah.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left. Still no one was here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
This is different now. Interesting. Room closet.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket. I can really feel it now. It's a bucket. It belongs in a broom closet. That's what the broom closet is trying to say here. It's supposed to go with the other cleaning supplies. Good for you, Stanley. Don't give in. Don't hand over the bucket. I know
there.
how
Yeah,
hard
I mean,
it must
cozy.
be, given the pressure that the broom closet is putting on your shoulders right now, but you have to be strong. This is your bucket. This is your companion and lifelong friend. You can't hand it over. Oh, no. We're getting into name-calling now, it seems. Is this how low the broom closet has sunk, that it has to resort to this stream of petty insults simply in order to get you to hand over the bucket? Stanley, I never liked this broom closet for a variety of reasons, but even this is worse than I had imagined. And wait, now the broom closet has the gall to imply that you and the bucket are not truly deep and lasting friends? That your relationship
has
is
the
purely
voice actor done?
superficial and
Do you guys know?
convenient? That your life is so banal and meaningless that you'd feel the same sort of kinship towards any inanimate object which happened to lay in your path in an even partially enticing manner? Well, I never. Go on, Stanley. Lay into it. Really tell the broom closet off for its demeaning comments. Expand on the wide variety of experiences you and the bucket have shared together.
Like
Go
falling
through
down a hole,
each of them
falling down
point
another hole,
by
falling
point.
down a third hole,
Share
falling
your
down a fourth
journal
hole,
entries
going
detailing
on
the
a
rich
psychedelic
emotional
journey,
landscape of
falling
your
down another
feelings
hole.
for the bucket, as they have changed and evolved over the years. Let him have it.
Well, this closet will never amount to anything more than a closet. In some kind of weird
Okay,
backroom
I've got you
dreamscape.
something which I think will help set. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
You see, what's important now is have the bucket, right? So I think the bucket allows
Stepping
me to get
into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to
Is it
discover not an
28:45?
indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this
think it's
revelation,
20:45.
Stanley may have broken
not gonna
down
click it
into
too
an
fast. We're gonna
emotional
wait, we're gonna wait.
dumpster fire, if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. It would be with him always. The bucket would, and he knew it. The two of them were inseparable. At this point, Stanley was so absorbed in the tender spiritual connection he shared with the bucket that he didn't notice the keypad behind the boss's desk. Nor in his bliss of simply being near the bucket did he have any notion that the pin number for the keypad
2045?
was 2845.
2845. I screwed up the...
But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
The bucket was guiding me, definitely. Oh, obviously the bucket. I love the bucket. Oh, a collectible,
Found one
ladies
of
and
them.
gentlemen.
One of
We
the
got our
miniature
first collectible.
Stanley figurines.
Our second
Remember,
collectible.
no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a
1947.
job well done. You can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Strangest game in the world. We go up? It's always down. Okay. Guys,
The elevator raced downward,
this game's really fun. but I
plummeting
must say I'm
towards
so
an
excited for the Elden
unknown
Ring DLC.
fate.
It's crazy.
It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket.
I'm so addicted. It's gross.
Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
Thank you, narrator. Appreciate that, knowing that. WoW has a new patch. Season of Discovery has a new patch.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control Facility.
And all I care about is that. I'm so excited. Oh, that fell. It's annoying.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
I love how I can take the bucket with me. And now the bucket is part of the narration. Because I was thinking, like, should I do it? Should I not do it? And you know what? Bucket. And we did it.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
At least if the bucket cried, it had somewhere to hold it. No, I don't think people watch guinea pigs. It said they were, like, being watched like guinea pigs. Everyone that I knew that had a guinea pig neglected the hell out of that thing. And they all survived. But, yeah, like, people did not take good care of their guinea pigs. It was strange. And I had guinea pigs. My brother and I both had guinea pigs. They lived for a really long time. I mean, I think one day mine just passed away of old age. They started slowing down. And one day we woke up and mine just didn't, it wasn't moving. They just never woke up. And the other one lived for another few years after that. And, but then I think it missed it always. And I felt bad for it. And I'm like, and I did think, like, do we replace, I didn't want to replace it, but I'm like, but I feel bad for the other one. Do you replace with another one so it has companionship again? But, like, the cycle just goes on forever. Because then when the older one dies, you just keep replacing it. Like, so I don't know, it's tough. It's tough when you have two animals.
Was the bucket under the
I didn't mean
mind
for this
control
conversation to get so
facility's
dark. I don't
influence
know.
as well?
That's what this game is doing
Had
to me.
the
What do you want
bucket
from me?
been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept
Where are we
it.
going with this
His
now?
own life in someone else's control. Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
At least we can't even trust the narrator, but at least we have our bucket, right, guys? At least we got our bucket. That's good to know.
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery
hole.
would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good.
I think this is
Two
really a love
best
story about a man in a
friends,
bucket.
Stanley and the bucket, up against the
Where's-
world. They high-fived
there?
in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy
Another
comment
button. All
about
buttons around
taking
here. Let's find the
down the
buttons in order.
system.
Let's press the buttons in order, guys. There's another button there. Ooh, we're finding buttons now. See what we're doing? That's 3. What's this? That's 1. 1. 2. 4 is all the way up there. Do I have to remember the pattern? Like, bro, I'm not gonna remember that pattern. Is this? I can't see. Is this staircase? You can't get up there. Huh. Alright. Maybe not. Maybe not. Can't hit number 4 unless I missed it. I'm supposed to hit it back then? I don't know, man. I don't know. What did we turn on? We turned it
When
off
at
last
last
time.
they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for. But at the last second, the bucket jumped in and pressed the button to turn on the controls. Stanley gasped in horror. Had this been the bucket's plan all along? To take over the machine and claim the power for itself?
Bucket is
How
going
could the
rogue.
bucket have betrayed him like this? Stanley was prepared to throw the bucket away in disgust when suddenly an image appeared upon the enormous screen.
Aw,
Birds. Silly, silly birds. The control buttons became active again.
Birds flying that way? Or the birds flying like that? Aw, pretty birds.
Stanley flipped through one video of silly birds after another, and then it dawned on him. This wasn't a mind control facility at all. It was a facility for monitoring and surveilling silly birds all over the world. The mind controls were only a facade to disguise its true
I
intentions.
hope that's actually true.
Had the bucket known this all along? Stanley marveled at the metal genius in his hands, the one who had pointed him towards this incredible discovery. Stanley and the bucket never found freedom because they spent the rest of their lives here in this place,
Looking at silly
flipping
birds.
through live streams of the silliest birds imaginable. Of all the possible paths his life could have taken, this one was surely the
I think we got the
best.
good ending, boys.
And Stanley was happy.
Achievement? Aw. Oh. Huh, reset again.
All of his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
The game just keeps going. It's crazy. I don't know when it's gonna end. The bucket. Take the bucket again.
Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his... This was not the correct way to the meeting room. But Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? Yes, Stanley thought to himself. Yes, perhaps it truly was. How insightful the bucket... No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift. Good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to the top. There's something up there I need you to do.
Stanley did not
So
question
strange.
why or how this bucket was speaking to him. It should have alarmed him, of course, because buckets can't talk. But Stanley chose not to think about this obvious fact. He was firmly convinced that the bucket had spoken to him, and he unthinkingly did whatever the bucket asked.
That one's open though. That's I wonder what's in there. See, you can drop down there and get in there if you align it right. And I wonder what's in that door. Probably something hidden or something.
In here.
Said the bucket.
Go into this dark room over here.
Stanley once again obeyed blindly.
Fun.
Now pick up the phone.
Said the bucket.
Pick up the phone and it will take us back home where we can go about life together.
Huh.
This is the sad story of a man named Stanley and his bucket. Once upon a time, I gave Stanley a bucket because I thought he was lonely and could use a friend. And then, very distressingly, he began to believe the bucket could speak to him.
Huh. Okay. Different apartment now. Your bucket, press H to talk to him, take me to work with you.
The Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket was merely meant to provide the comforting glow of companionship. It doesn't literally talk and give you orders. Whatever Stanley is hearing the bucket say to him is just in his head.
Press K to take me back home with you. So you can't leave, you gotta go back home with the bucket.
Lately, I've been concerned about him. Wouldn't you be concerned as well? To
Where's the
see him
bucket?
delusional like this, obsessing over an inanimate metal object? I want to say something to him, but I don't know how I can convince him. I don't know if he'll listen to me.
L to go back to work.
Oh, I'll try anyway. Stanley, can you hear me? Listen to me. It's just a bucket. It can't think, it can't talk. All it will ever truly do for you is effectively transfer a liquid from
Have a
one
wonderful night,
location
Dennis.
to
Thank
a different
you for
location.
recommending this
That's
game.
it. It doesn't do anything else.
Don't listen to the loud man. Press Q for us to go back home.
You see, he's not listening. He's still taking orders from the bucket. You know, once upon a time it was me he took orders from. Me he trusted and listened to. Now all he cares about is his awful bucket. This stupid hunk of metal.
Why when you let it separate me? Alright?
It's sad. I suppose he doesn't need me anymore. From now on, he's just going to cling to this bucket, this cold, empty bucket, this sort of shiny bucket. Well, I'll give it this. The bucket does have a nice shine to it.
Where's the bucket? Oh, there it is. You believe I'm real, don't you? Stanley, press T to go back home.
Yes, I suppose on closer inspection that it doesn't quite look like your average hardware store bucket.
Just watch TV
It's
together.
just a little more,
bucket and chill,
What am I
right?
trying to say? Sturdier, more capable of transporting liquid. Like it would be better at moving an amount of water from one room to another.
Press X to relive the same day with me over and over.
Oh my God, what am I saying? Better at carrying water from room to room. It's a bucket. It's literally just a bucket. Why do I feel some need to point out the ways in which it's so much more than just a regular bucket?
Press G to go home or work.
Oh no. I'm having feelings. For the bucket. Oh, no,
Gonna be
no,
on the
no, no,
bed?
no, no, no. What's going on? Why do I want to be with the bucket? Hear what the bucket has to say. Do anything
So
it
silly,
asks.
dude.
What's wrong with me?
Look,
I don't
Jazz
understand.
hands at the
Perhaps if I had the bucket, this would be less confusing. Yes.
It's just
The
13
bucket
o'clock.
could tell me
It's just
what to
13.
do in this troublesome situation. Stanley, give me the bucket. Give it to me. Give me the bucket, Stanley. I need it. Give it to me now. Give it, or I'll...
Close your eyes. Go back to work, Stanley.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Meeting today. Figurine Finders Committee. Oh my god, that's so funny. Oh, there's the bucket. He's
The
back.
confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
There will be a reward for finding them all. Mission status. Large room, lots of boxes. Private but smelly place for an important person. Bathroom. The CEO's bathroom. Stairs, something to do with stairs. Somewhere with both red and blue. A large room with lots of boxes. Where are the false prophets? He's with a big nose. Large room, lots of boxes. So the stairs, red and blue, private but smelly place. Which is a bathroom. Let's check the room closet first.
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This coming to a
Stairs.
staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Feeling on the
Another
air.
miniature Stanley figurine.
Love it.
This, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley figs? What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like
Stanlerines.
that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanlerine. Sick, man. We got another Stanlerine. Love it, dude. Okay, now we go to the boss's room. Red and blue, it said as well. Don't forget. There's red and blue. Executive bathroom. This is another one. Should be in here. Yep.
Okay, I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines.
Red and
And now
blue.
I'm torn between
Sure.
Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from seeing a small number in the corner of your screen go up by one?
The room
Let me
with
sit on it.
boxes.
I'm sure it will come to me.
Did I miss the room with boxes? Red and blue.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once
look
again
at that.
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of this revelation, Stanley may have broken down into an emotional dumpster fire if not for the soothing presence of the bucket. Even now, in his darkest of hours, did the
28:45.
bucket's warmth and guiding light pierce the dark clouds of confusion and chaos. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Oh, I just noticed. YouTube didn't change the title again. Jesus Christ. I'm so sorry, guys. That's beyond ridiculous. God, and OBS updated today, too. You know that? That's so strange. I don't know why. It suddenly started happening. We'll change it really quick. Just give me a second. We'll change it right now. Oh, I just noticed. Sorry, guys. Just a second. That's so ridiculous. My God. So sorry, guys. That's beyond ridiculous. And then we'll go right back to the game. I should have checked earlier, honestly, because it happened last time too. And after it updated today, I forgot to assume that it was happening again. So that's ridiculous. Stanley Parable. Sorry, guys. One sec. Goodness, people are probably clicking this, be like, "This is an Elden Ring or Diablo." Like, what the hell's the issue? That's yeah. What's weird is it will say. Let's see if there's one here. I didn't see, but no. Hopefully, I didn't miss two that I'm missing. It will show that one is live streaming, and it says the old one from whatever my last live stream was. And if you go to my YouTube channel, it'll say another one is about to go live, and that's the new name. So it's like it's projecting two at the same time, and one of them updates the name, but the one that's actually live isn't.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
It's red and blue. Damn, did we miss two of them somehow? Damn, dude. Hope we didn't miss two of them. I think we might have.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Maybe I should have gone a different way. I don't remember the room with boxes, and red and blue I don't remember, so that's unfortunate.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs. The bucket had never seen anything like this, and it very nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently, reassuring it that everything would be fine.
We go this way. So I'm responding to a text. So... Okay, sorry. Just responding to a text. So this game is going to end at some point, right? Or will we know that, or will we not know that? Like, how does that work?
Was the bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had the bucket been told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never!
There are slight differences.
He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world. At this point, he could trust no one except for the bucket.
I don't want to spoil it, but should I Google, did this game have a true end, or does it just keep going?
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For he and the bucket would dismantle the controls for good. Two best friends, Stanley and the bucket, up against the world. They high-fived in a really cool way, and the bucket made a sassy comment about taking down the system.
I think I missed a few. I think I missed two of the things, unfortunately.
When at last they came to the source of the room's power, Stanley and the bucket knew it was their obligation to put an end to this horrible place and to everything it stood for.
Let's see what happens.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support. What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence filled the room, lingering in uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Huh. It just resets?
I can't wait to tell this story to my co-workers, Stanley thought. How amusing they'll find it. Oh, won't we all just laugh and laugh at the time I thought everyone had gone missing.
Do I take the bucket? Room with all the boxes. Oh. Now you can put the other code. See? So every time you do this, you can put another input, and then it fills it up eventually. See? I forgot to do that a few times before. Interesting. Interesting.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
Is that the room with the boxes? No.
Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley for the first time understood true happiness. Then the feeling went away, but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Can't go that way. Is this the room with the boxes? Oh, is this the room with the boxes? Where we can find the thing? Let's see if we can fall down and see if we get anything there.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really.
There it is, right there. Oh, I
realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you... What? Really?
Yep, sick.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important.
Red and blue.
Stanley walked through the red door.
We found the second last one. Never know what the last one is. We know where the last one is, guys.
You've nearly gotten all of the Figler and Marines.
Oh my god,
Very
I can't believe we found
you'll
them all.
collect
I
the
should get
last
to that
one,
box room
and
again.
then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used to have none of them. And now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler and Marines. None of us can.
Fun. And we got red and blue. Let's go down blue. I like the color blue better.
Aha! Perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red. Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and
Running in
running and
circles?
running, just the way you're doing right now.
Yeah.
Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped. And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Oh boy. Sorry, I'm just sorry, just a quick text. Just responding to someone, I apologize. Just a bit of change of plans today, so I'm just trying to figure it out on the fly while we're live.
What do
Interesting.
we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
Weird, what is
Oh,
this?
it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with this place, Stanley, I think I feel happy.
What is this?
I actually feel happy.
God, I missed that last. I want that last figurine. You stay here and it's trippy and blurry. Something happened? It's coming together to form something. Oh, there we go. Okay. Colorful. Walk over the edge? No. Does nothing happen? Do we... This is... Huh. Weird. Alright, we'll leave. Oh, I
No,
see.
wait. Where are you going?
Don't go that way?
Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this.
Oh no.
Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God. You lived. You had me worried there for a... No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me. I can't go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from
Try it
being
one last
happy.
time and then we'll go.
Am I
in other
reading
room
the
again.
situation correctly? Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore. Do you actually want to stay alive? Or are you just teasing me?
What if you go back in here? What does this do?
I wanted us to be happy here, Stanley. I really did. I still thought that was possible.
Do you just kill yourself? You just keep jumping up and do what you do? You reset? You're walking slower every time. I wonder if that would do something. I didn't know if that would reset you or what the deal is with that. Alright, well, let's just do it again, boys. This is probably the last time of this one more time, but it's getting harder and harder to walk up the stairs, so I would imagine you probably need to keep doing this one last time, I guess, and then you die, and then it resets again or something. Maybe we get that last trophy. That'd be amazing.
Is it over?
There we go, hopefully.
It's going to restart, isn't it? I'm going back.
Start over again? Yep.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
Next
go to the
computer
meeting
thing
room.
on it.
Perhaps
Code.
he had simply missed a memo.
It wasn't our computer, was it? I can't check because I didn't check my computer. Hopefully.
No matter how hard Stanley looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Well, let's get that last achievement then, huh? Or is it in here, the computer that we need to click? Put the prompt for the next one. No. Surname, access. Interesting.
When Stanley came to a set of
think it was
two
this way we
open
needed to go,
doors,
right?
this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection
This
between
game
the
is, like,
two?
borderline, like,
Could a
insanity.
man love a room? I mean, truly, deeply, madly love. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first
Okay, we're
open
not
door
going
on
this way.
his
We're
left.
going to the other room to get our last trophy, ladies and gents.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he
So it
wasn't
looks like it's
5
up
years
here?
ago.
And down there? You can't jump, though. How do you make it across? Like this and like this? Yeah, like this. And then you... We did it, boys. We did it. We got our last one.
And there it is.
Ladies
The
and
last
gentlemen,
Stiggly
6
Wiggly.
out of
Savor this
6.
moment, Stanley. This
We did it.
is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward, and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Okay. Now, can we fall without dying is the question. Right? Like, this is gonna kill us?
But in his eagerness to prove that he is in control of the story and no one gets to tell him what to do, Stanley leapt from the platform and plunged to his death. Good job, Stanley. Everyone thinks you are very powerful.
So I think the game just keeps going. I think there's like a few little things here and there, but story-wise, I think you just keep playing with it to experience like new, like silly dialogue options and stuff. We've been playing for like almost 3 hours, and it's a lot of like not repeat. Let me rephrase that. It's new content, but it's like the content in itself is just like Groundhog
Stanley,
Day.
I'm
It's
sorry,
weird.
but I have to put a pause on things.
Yeah, I
It's
was
just
speaking too soon.
It's those figurines, those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness?
Claustrophobia, ladies and gents.
Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone? I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines. Just one more time.
So maybe when Stanley found the collectibles. So maybe I spoke too soon. I was going to say, I don't know if the game ever actually ends. It seems like it just keeps looping, and you can always explore more stuff, go down different avenues, sort of like a labyrinth. I don't know if that's true. Maybe not. Maybe the game does have an end, and I'm just impatient. But it seems like the fun of the game is that there's so many different avenues and so many different ways you can go. It's similar to Baldur's Gate. It ends, but it doesn't really end. Red Dead doesn't really end. World of Warcraft doesn't really end. There are things you can do to complete it, the story, and then you can just keep going. The credits never roll. I don't know if that's the case here. We'll see in a second, I guess.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like that again, Stanley.
You go that way, that's cool. 7 out of 6. Oh my god.
And here was the second Stanlerine. You found this one all on your own just by poking around behind the boss's
out of
office.
6.
You did that, Stanley. I'll be honest, back then I had no faith in you to find any of them, let alone 6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
Yep, it was here before we went underneath, I think. No. We went here before we went to the boss room. I lied. It was under stairs first. Went under the stairs first. Yep.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything. Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember
this
being
pink
in this
room?
room,
There's no
but it's
pink
here
room.
in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
Bro. Oh.
This was the 5th mini-Stan, and this one was really something special. It was by the red and blue doors. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion. Enjoy.
That's so funny. It's like an old YouTube video. Oh my god, that's so funny. That's so clever. My old WoW videos. This is where like I started. Videos like this, guys. That's so freaking funny. It would be like, right here would be like Level 85 Undead Road, Nolly, Icondrius. And the title would be like all caps, like 85. Oh, that actually, there's no way. That's more narrator, starring Stanley, narrator.
Takes you back,
So
doesn't
funny.
it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
We go this way? Fun in the sun.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here in the warehouse. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all collected. It was a moment
And then he killed
unlike any other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
Is this open? Oh, it's opened, I see. Gotcha. Gotcha.
And then there was no
fun.
more,
The past,
because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing left to do but move onward into the future. Goodbye, Memory Zone.
Jesus Christ, it's resetting again. Are you kidding me?
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to
Right in
move
the loading
on.
screen.
Stop
Oh my
the
God, this
loading
game is so
screen.
meta. It's
Isn't there
crazy,
some way
bro.
we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the Memory Zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
You're kidding, right? I don't have to do this all over again?
Okay, yes. This spot in the warehouse. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the Memory Zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
Oh my god. Go through the red door this time.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video we watched?
Play it again, Jesus.
Yes, I love that video.
Yeah, the pink room.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room. These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have muted the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one.
Sorry, we need a lot of texts. I'm gonna have to call the stream soon, I think, unfortunately. Sorry about that. This way.
This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too. The past is truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going. This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else is there? What came before this?
This room. The very first one, we introduced them. Oh, the jump. Yeah, the jumping room.
Look, it's the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, I dare say I'm actually quite fond of it now. Look how much fun the past is. I want more. More memories. Oh, yes! The two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one. And before everything else, there was your office. Is there anything else? Was there something that came before your office? There's something I feel I can remember. I can remember.
The title screen?
I can remember.
Are you gonna just hit me with a freaking title screen? Is this your first time playing the Stanley Parable? Is that what you're gonna say?
Yes, I'm remembering something now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes, I can be on my own again. I can do it. I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore. Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good.
Last one, boys. This
I
sounds
did
like the
enjoy
last
telling
one.
his
It's
story
perfect timing for
so
what to end the
very
stream.
much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley. The meeting room. Yes, that's where everyone would be. Stanley just needed to get to the meeting room, and from then on, he would never be alone ever again.
Take our bucket this time, or trusty
Warmth
bucket?
spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
We're gonna,
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
reboot the
Still
game
no one was
entirely?
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers.
It says reboot the game entirely. I know that, but
Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the... Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
it's 28:45.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
We'll give him the happy ending really quick. And if it still isn't really the official ending and it keeps going, we may have to pick it up next stream. Or I'll look into it. Maybe the game just never actually officially ends. Maybe it's just that this kind of fun game where it just loops. That's the excitement of it, that it just keeps going over and over again. And like
Stanley and the bucket
different
walked
endings,
straight
different
ahead through the
dialogue,
large
stuff
door
like
that read Mind
if that's the
Control
case,
Facility.
then maybe we'll pick it up at a later date. We'll look into it, see what other alternative endings we can get, achievements, stuff like that. I don't know.
Lights
It's hard
rose
to tell if
on
the
an
game's actually
enormous
linear or
room
not.
packed with television
It keeps
screens.
repeating.
What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
But if the game is just like repeating essentially over and over again, that's the fun of it, which is cool. I had a fun time today. Then next stream, which is Thursday, is a game called, I think it's called Slay the Princess. It was gifted to me, but it's like a psychological horror game, I believe. Supposedly very high reviews. People really liked it. See, I'm really excited for this one. It'll be a lot of
Monitors
fun.
jumped
So
to
I look
life,
forward to the
and
next stream as
Stanley
well,
nearly
which will be
dropped the
Thursday.
bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was being videotaped, monitored like
Sorry
guinea
about missing
pigs.
Sunday. It's just
The
the
bucket
missus
had never
asked,
seen anything like this,
needed me
and
to
it
do stuff
very
for
nearly
her, and
burst into
I
tears
can't
as
say sorry,
Stanley
I got into
cradled
video
it
games, can't
gently,
do it.
reassuring it that everything
She's so
would be fine.
kind to like let me do this as often as I do. You know, give me the freedom to do this as often as they do. So when she needs me once in a while.
Was the bucket under the mind control
much as I
facility's
wanted to
influence
stream
as
video
well?
games, you know, I wasn't
Had
really
the
excited to
bucket
do it,
been
so-
told to do
I
things
appreciate
it
her being
didn't
cool
wish
about
to
it.
do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone else's control, never! He squeezed the bucket tighter. His one friend in the entire world.
Well,
At
this
this
is the
point,
good ending, quote
he could
unquote. So we'll
trust
give it a good
no
ending,
one
see what happens.
except
And if
for
it
the
doesn't
bucket.
officially end here, then it may just keep going. I'll have to look into it. I don't mind spoiling that. I'll Google after this. Like, does the game have an ending? If it doesn't have it,
But
if
here
this
was
doesn't
the
end
proof.
it,
The
then I'll Google,
heart
does
of
the
the
game have a true
operation.
ending? 'Cause if it doesn't have a
Controls
true
labeled
ending-
with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
See if he gets a good ending. Because the narrator said one more time.
Stanley
one
and the
more
bucket
time.
waited in blackness. Was it over? Yes, they had done it. Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest and darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life
not
they
gonna let the bucket
envisioned,
leave, right?
but
Or
it was
are they gonna
one
let the
they'd
bucket
lived
leave this time?
together, with one another to lean on, to trust, to support.
Yeah, they won't let the bucket leave again. See?
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped? Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed? An unbearable silence
Okay,
filled the room,
yeah, we already saw this. I'm gonna repeat
lingering
one
in
more time. I'm so
uncertainty.
sorry. It's all that water. and
Until
coffee.
finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
The best way I would describe this game, honestly, yeah, reset again. The best way I would describe this game, honestly, is like paranoia. Because you think like something's gonna happen the whole time, and nothing really happens. And I think that's sort of interesting. Okay. Well. I mean...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
I feel
Stanley
like he keeps
decided to go to
resetting.
the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. No matter how hard Stanley
Resume the game.
looked, he couldn't find a trace of his co-workers.
Can we click any of the computers again where that code thing is on there? I don't think so. So I'm going to bring something up really quick. We're going to Google really quick as well. Does this game have a true ending? It doesn't seem like it does. Hold on. Does the Stanley Parable have a true ending? So right there, see? It's kind of complicated. The base game... Base game does not have a true end. The only thing you could argue to be the true end is the not Stanley end. But even then, you can literally just keep playing. You can play the end first, and it won't fuck anything up. Ultra Deluxe, on the other hand, has more of a plot to it. New content, and skip button. Sequel end, collect all the figurines, Figly end, epilogue, we did that. But there is an epilogue after that. The epilogue literally straight up says the Stanley Parable can never end. The epilogue doesn't end the game, just adds another layer. They still arguably isn't a true end. Yeah, so there's no end. So Huh. It just keeps going again and going again and going again. So I don't know if we saw all the endings. There was like 40-something endings, so we clearly didn't see all the endings, but we saw a lot of endings. Yeah, that's an interesting game, because like I don't know, because I was thinking I'd play the game until the credits rolled, but the credits rolled a couple times now already, and it keeps resetting us at the office. So that's really cool. I'm gonna bring something up really quick, and then I think we're gonna have to call the stream for today, unfortunately. But next stream, I believe we're going to play a game called I think it's called Slay the Princess, I think. My friend gifted it to me. It's a psychological horror game, I believe, but I don't know, based on the cover, and that's all I know is the cover, because I didn't look into it. He said he gave me clear instructions, don't look into anything. Oh, here's all endings of the Stanley Parable. There you go. Oh, there's a whole bunch of endings I've never seen. Jesus Christ. So we can do this. So I'll show this. Okay, I'll bring this up so you guys can see this as well. There's two things I want to open up on browser. But Dennis, who actually got me this game, sent me a thing that explains all the different endings and achievements you can get. This game is crazy. Jesus. Okay, but what I wanted to show was, he sent this as well with Diablo. I'll show you guys, and we can call it. But the Slay the Princess game, I don't know if it's similar to this. It looks 2D-ish, sort of like it's drawn like comic book style, but I'm not sure. But I've heard very good things about that game, so I'm really excited to play it. Really quick though, we're gonna bring this up so you guys can see. I'll show you this one first. So this is what it looks like. Whoops, that's 1 sec. Sorry guys. This one, I think. Is this it? That's it. Do you see that? That's like where you start and all the different ways you can go that will like send you to like different endings, I guess. I think I did some of it. I think we did a lot of it. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I've sort of lost... Like, it keeps resetting, so it's hard to know for sure. But, so that's sort of what it looks like. So we can look into that. And if you're on the Discord or you want to join the Discord, you're welcome to join. We can talk about it there as well. And maybe we can try to figure out some endings together. That'd be fun. I don't know if this is a single-player game or not, but... this is the second thing I'm going to talk about. I haven't even looked at this myself. So I just brought it up on stream. We're going to look at it together really quick, then we can call it. So... January to April, so that's why it's ending soon. Yes, the occult gems, we did all that. So we got the Raven Pet, that's exciting. So April to June is Belial's Return. Boss Powers, Reputation Board. So, I don't know what any of this means. Oh, there's a cat pet, that's exciting. New IP collaboration. Ooh, maybe that's World of Warcraft, I wonder. New layer bosses, reliquaries, I don't know what that is. Season Journey Update, I'm not sure what that is either. But look here, so these are other, these are other seasons. Oh, so the season will be from April to July. The next season will be from July to September, and then the next season will be from September to December. That's exciting. Chaos Powers. Infernal Hordes update. Another pet, and you get a pet every season. That's exciting. Dungeon Escalation. Hordaric Powers. Well, who are the Hordaric guys? The name sounds familiar, but... Console, KB, and M support. I'm not sure what that means. New Nightmare Dungeon activities. So the first one we're getting is Belial's Return. Very exciting. Yeah, look, I'm not too familiar with Diablo. This is really my first season trying it, but I had a lot of fun with it. I look forward to the new season. I really thought it was a lot of fun. But you guys are so much fun. So the future of the stream essentially will be... next stream we'll play Slay the Princess. After that... Maybe we can vote on Discord and see what you guys are interested in. If it was up to me, honestly, I really want to play Elden Ring DLC. We just beat Elden Ring, and I am so itching for that DLC. I want to play it so bad. But if you guys... I'll put a vote thing there. Like, are you guys sick of Elden Ring? Do you guys want something else that's not Elden Ring? Because if you're sick of it, I won't make you sit through what's probably going to be like another 40 hours, if not more, of Elden Ring. But if you're okay with it, I'm down to do Elden Ring, not this next stream, but the one after. Because I imagine the Slay the Princess game won't take too long, I'm not sure. But we'll see. I'll gauge the interest in the Discord. If no one cares, Elden Ring it is. But if you guys are like, no, I want variety, we can do something different. But thank you so much for being here today. If you enjoyed the stream, if I may ask you to like the video on YouTube, it seems to help other people find us. If you got here late and you haven't seen the whole stream, I'll probably upload this to... It will be saved to YouTube in the live section. I think if you go to my channel, like there's like a live section and all the live streams are there. But I'll upload this too as a normal upload, so YouTube can see it, the subscribers can see it. But it's worth watching just because this game is very strange. I've never experienced a game like this, and not knowing what the game was about, had I watched other streamers play this, it would have been very entertaining to watch, just because the game carries the entertainment, in my opinion. I didn't do very much this game. The game carried today, because it's a very strange, confusing, but enthralling kind of game. I was curious the whole time. I'm still sort of curious, because it's still going on. And I don't know if we've actually reached the true ending, even though I got a few achievements. It's such a strange game. I've never experienced anything like this. I'm more confused now than I was when we started. But thank you guys so much for today. Thank you for, just showing up today, I guess, liking the video, all that stuff, chatting. It was fun. Stand on head if you're still here. I'm not sure if you're still here. Dennis has gone to bed, but, thank you to Dennis for recommending this game. Yeah, join the Discord. Like the video, all that razzmatazz, chugs and jazz, you know what it is, boys. And next stream will be Thursday with, I think it's called Slay the Princess. But if I don't talk to you guys before on Discord, I will see you guys Thursday.